Hello, dear friends. I'm a teacher at the Department of English Language of Western Caspian University, Nərqiz, Dadaşova. Today I will talk about passive voice, but before that, let's talk about voice. What is a voice? Is it the voice of an opera singer? Exactly no. So what is it? Voice is the form a verb takes to indicate whether the subject of the verb performs or receives the action. It refers to the structure of sentence. There are two types of voice, active voice and passive voice, as you see from the slide. So, what is active voice? Let's activate. Active voice indicates that the subject of the verb is acting. As you see from the example, the teacher teaches the students. This is the active voice sentence. Who is the doer of the action? The teacher. The teacher is the subject. The teacher performs the action. What does the teacher do? Teaches. So what is teaches in the sentence? That's the verb. So what's the object of the sentence? Object receives the action. Who receives the action in this sentence? Exactly, students. So teacher is the subject. Students is the object of the sentence. So, but in the passive voice, the subject and the object flip-flop. The subject becomes the passive recipient of the action, as you see from this chart. So, most writers prefer to use active voice because it's more direct. Reasons to use active voice. Why to use active voice? Because the active voice is less awkward and it clearly states relationship between the subject and the action. Active voice focuses attention on the subject, which brings clarity and forcefulness to our writing. Studies show that active voice sentences are easier to understand than passive voice sentences. In general, the passive voice is less direct and less forceful and less concise than the active voice. So, the next slide is, as you see, this is the formula of passive voice, and this is exactly present simple passive. I, he, she, it, we, you, they. So these are the subjects of the sentences, and relevantly they are the doer of the action. They are the doers of the action. So plus be changes according to the person. Am is are plus past participle. Past participle remains the same for all passive voice, for all tense forms. So you have to know that the verbs are regular and irregular in English. So for irregular verbs, you have to learn participle twos, past participles, and as you know, regular verbs take ed. And let's have a look at the next example. He opens the door. Who is the subject of the sentence? Yes, he is the subject. So what's the verb? Yes, exactly, opens. So the door is the object of the sentence. And the second sentence is the passive sentence. Who is the subject? What is the subject? The door. As you see, the object of the first sentence, active sentence, becomes the subject of the second passive sentence. Is opened is a verb. Great. So, who is, by him is the agent. It was the subject of the first active sentence. And also, so I have to say that in general, passive voice is less direct and less forceful, and we can use passive voice when you don't know or you don't want to reveal the performer of the action. You want to hide something. You want to hide who did the action. And as I stated before, most writers prefer to use active voice rather than passive voice because it's more direct. And when you want to emphasize the receiver of the action and not the doer, you can use passive voice. And when we want, at the end of the passive sentence, you may say, you may state the agent with the means of by. As in this example, the door is opened by him. And here is another example of past simple passive. Past simple passive, formula of past simple passive is the same with present simple passive. There's a difference with that. To be, was, were plus participle to. For present simple passive, it was am, is, are plus participle to, but for past simple passive, that's was, were plus participle to. Here is another slide for you showing the other formulas for other tense forms in passive. Past simple, present simple, we already know. Present continuous am, is, are, being plus verb 3. Future simple will be plus verb 3. Past perfect had been plus verb 3 or past participle, as I say that. Present perfect has been plus verb 3, and past continuous was, were, being plus verb 3. Would you like some practice? All right, let's practice a bit. As you see, the first sentence, policeman, in the brackets we've got often ask for the way. We have to give this sentence in the present simple passive. So how would you do it? Policemen are often asked for the way. Yes, exactly, you're right. What about the second one? But be careful, we've got another subject in plural. And be careful, it should be past simple. The towels are not used. That's present simple passive. It should be past simple. We change it. The towels were not used. Exactly. So, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Thank you for your attention.